car was towed is an emergency. Now, it probably is for them. It's a personal emergency, but not a community emergency. And what is an emergency? A loss due to fire, flood, other type of property loss. That is a community emergency. It's our intention to have a manager answer the phone. And for many years, ACCU did have a manager answering every phone call on the emergency on-call line. Unfortunately, that line gets really, really tied up with phone calls of what's my current balance, and my neighbor's cat is on my balcony. And I was so inundated with phone calls that it was hard to even capture those emergency-only issues. And so we decided to move to an on-call service. There's pros and cons to having an on-call service. One of the pros is that there are enough people to answer the phone. So no matter the volume of phone calls, they have the overflow, and someone's going to be answering the phone and at least taking care of every phone call that comes in. The downside is, it adds a little red tape, and I don't think that communities or boards really appreciate that they have to kind of explain to an on-call service what the emergency is. The on-call people determine whether or not they think it's an emergency or can wait until Monday, which is under our instruction. If it's not a threat to property or life, then it really can wait. Now that comes back to what the expectation is, and I think the expectation is that we take phone calls 24/7. Take this into consideration when you want a 24/7 company. Many times we charge less per door than your trash company charges you for trash service, and they are only there once a week. We are expected to be able to fund and afford a 24/7 service to our clients. That's a huge task for the amount of money that we currently charge. So if a 24/7 service is what is being asked of a management company, would you agree that fees should go up in a community to be able to provide that service? I think there's a real misconception out there that a management fee encompasses everything. 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service for emergency on-call. Somebody's in the office from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, to answer every phone call from every customer that calls in, that there will not be any times of year that there's delay. We, just like any other business, have our peaks and our valleys. During our annual meeting and budget ratification time of year, which is usually happening in November, some other types of year depending on what fiscal year end is, but it's a real tense time for managers and management companies. So yes, it's a manager neck deep in figures and numbers and budget analyzation and working with your boards. Yes, of course, that happens. And are we fast in our response time? As fast as we are in maybe August, when pools have been open, keys have been distributed, things are pretty smooth. January is a pretty slow time. We can expect to be quicker during those times. But when we're ramping up pools and taking so many phone calls for access to pools, and it's a high sales time of year, the summertime, and so a lot of new owners that we have to take care of, get them all set up. Anyway, back to music.